So you don't think if Bron called Joker and said, come out here and play with me or Luka?
Very quickly you're into a scenario where that I never want to have to contemplate, and that's trade number 15.
I'm saying that this man got a chance to play with Bron and Luka in LA, and they got a chance to get him. You don't think the NBA gonna try it to bring more ratings?
That would be crazy.
Nikola Jokic to the Lakers is crazy, but so was the Luka Doncic to LA trade. And we all know that the last couple of years has been terrible, not only for the Lakers, but the NBA's ratings. But is that enough for the NBA to pull another steal like the Luka trade? But what if LeBron, Jokic's agent, and Maverick Carter are planning something even bigger than just bringing Joker to LA? On July 27th, LeBron James, his longtime business partner Maverick Carter, and Nikola Jokic's agent Misko Raznakovic met on a yacht. This could easily have been just another luxury offseason hangout, until Raznakovic posted an Instagram photo captioned, "The summer of 2025 is the perfect time to make big plans for the fall of 2026. Now everyone's wondering, could the Lakers really steal Jokic like they did Luka? Can you imagine LeBron on the wing, Luka carving up defenses, and Jokic doing his thing at the center? That's not just a super team. That's a basketball event every single night. This would be like bringing back the Showtime Lakers again, but bigger this time. Global. Ratings would skyrocket. Every game would feel like a playoff matchup. And maybe winning another ring would make Jokic emotional this time, like when his horse won this horse race.
Emotivna scena.
Koga su emocije savladale očigledno. U zagrljaju sa Carmineom Piscoljom.
But how realistic is this? Jokic is still the heart of the Nuggets, but the Denver owner has said that there is a situation in which he'd contemplate trading Jokic. Also, after Luka's trade and the way Coach Malone was fired, it might be hard for Jokic to want to remain loyal. The Joker himself stated that when he was told about Mike Malone's firing, it was a decision, not a discussion.
I knew a little bit before everybody, and he told me like we made a decision, so it wasn't a discussion. It was a decision, and he told me why, and so I listened and I accepted.
So why shouldn't he accept another opportunity elsewhere, especially if the Nuggets fail to strengthen a team that Jokic himself admitted couldn't win another title? But how could Jokic to LA with Luka and LeBron work? Luka Doncic has transformed himself this offseason and recently signed a 3-year, $160 million deal with the Lakers. Now, that locks him up for at least 2 more seasons. But more importantly, it gives the Lakers a very real window to land another generational talent. And who better than Nikola Jokic, especially for the crown jewel of the NBA that hasn't won the league since the 2020 bubble. You see, LeBron's no stranger to building super teams. He brought AD to LA in 2019, Bosh to Miami in 2010. If anyone knows how to swing the impossible, it's him. But Jokic isn't a free agent, so how could this happen? Well, it could be a blockbuster trade like the Doncic trade. One that would require the Lakers to build a package that might include Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and some draft picks, specifically LA's 2026 and 2028 first-rounders. However, the key factor in this isn't just what the Lakers can offer, it's what Denver is dealing with. If the Nuggets front office fails to build a stronger team around the Joker, LeBron might be able to convince him to make the move. However, this brings up the issue of whose team will it be. At present, the Lakers is Luka Doncic's team, but bringing in the Joker might change that dynamic. But nonetheless, Nikola Jokic is not a ball hog, and there's no doubt that a Lakers team with all 3 guys wouldn't just be a title contender. It would be the NBA's next big dynasty, a fusion of raw skill, genius IQ, and all-world chemistry. But the incentive for the NBA to make this happen is even higher, because off the court, this Lakers would become a global phenomenon. Sold-out crowds at Crypto.com Arena. Social media would melt down every time they play, win or lose. And for a league that's seeking global reach, this would lead to a major boost in NBA ratings among the Balkan states. A trade like this would definitely mean endless merch sales, both local and international. But here's the thing, this might not just be about building a super team. Because there's another theory about what happened on that yacht. And if it's true, the Lakers might not be building a team at all. In fact, the yacht meeting might be about what LeBron's business partner, Maverick Carter, wants to build.
He is not fucking around with this league he is attempting to build.
Now, for those who don't know, Maverick Carter is LeBron's right-hand man and longtime business partner. According to NBA expert Nick Wright, what was being discussed was not about Nikola Jokic or LeBron switching teams, but about a new league.
That is about the league Maverick is trying to put together. And the full details on that league are at this point a little hazy.
Maverick Carter is reportedly working on building an international basketball league with a $5 billion war chest. And they're calling it Live Basketball. And if that name rings a bell, it should. Just like Live Golf disrupted the PGA by luring away elite talent with outrageous contracts and global events, Live Basketball might also be about that, but with a twist. Instead of planting teams in cities like Chicago or LA, this team would operate on a touring model, much like Formula One. It could feature 6 men's teams and 6 women's teams rotating through 8 global cities in places like Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Berlin. And what's more, players won't just earn money, they'll earn equity. That means unlike the NBA, where active players can't own a piece of a team, Live will offer athletes a chance to become stakeholders in the league itself. Now, although no one knows what these billionaires discussed on the yacht, however, if a new basketball league was in the works, these are the people that can get it off the ground. First off is LeBron James, who has been the face of basketball for the last 2 decades. Then Maverick Carter, a powerful businessman with major connections and a drive to build the Live Project. Now, for a global competition such as the Live Project, they need global stars. And who better than Misko Raznakovic, the agent of many other European stars. Raznakovic's agency, Bayo Basket, dominates the European basketball scene and is tightly linked to US power players like Excel Sports Management. Also, multiple reports have confirmed that billions in funding have already been committed to this project. And who are those committing the billions? Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, UBS, Skype co-founder Jeff Prentice, and former Facebook executive Grady Burnett. And while LeBron hasn't publicly attached his name to the project, his track record says it all. But more importantly, how would such a competition impact the NBA and the WNBA? If Live Basketball becomes real, then the NBA is in for a real competition. With $5 billion in backing, a global touring format, and equity on the table for players, the Live Project could be a game changer. One that directly challenges everything the NBA stands on, from talent, revenue, control, to global dominance. You see, one of Live's biggest weapons is equity. Giving players ownership stakes is something that the NBA can't offer due to league rules. But imagine you're a superstar like Jokic, Giannis, and the likes. Live offers you a contract and a piece of the league itself. Why would you want to play for just a paycheck when there's wealth to build? Now imagine doing that while headlining a showcase game in Singapore or Dubai or Barcelona. Superstars will no longer have to deal with the 82-game grind. Just primetime basketball in global markets, streamed around the world with an F1-style production budget. Now that's a deal that's hard to resist for the players and will definitely force a response from the NBA. So just maybe, we're about to witness the start of a Cold War in basketball. But it's not just the NBA that should be paying attention. The WNBA might also take a hit if this happens. Live's inclusion of 6 women's teams means the league is positioning itself as a home for elite women's basketball talent too. For WNBA stars who've long dealt with salary gaps and limited off-season options, the Live Project would definitely make them happy, and this time without the sex toys.
Yeah, and no one's picked the object up yet. You guys, oh my gosh, okay. Spencer Caldwell, and that's her job. That normally inappropriate.
So on one hand, you have a world where LeBron recruits Jokic to join Luka in Los Angeles, forming the most powerful trio in NBA history. A super team that would dominate headlines, playoffs, and jersey sales for years. On the other hand, you have Maverick Carter, LeBron, and Misko Raknakovic potentially building a league from scratch, one that spans continents, splits loyalties, and flips basketball's power structure on its head. Either way, LeBron seems to be working on expansion of some kind with this team.
I know LeBron and his camp have also been very emphatic about the idea of both expansion.
Both ideas are game changers for basketball. However, Nikola Jokic's agent, who is also the agent of more than 100 European basketball players, meeting with someone who plans to build an international basketball league, along with the man who's been the face of basketball for the last 2 decades, really smells like they're building a new league. But what do you think they really discussed on the yacht? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then you should watch The NBA Will Totally Look Different Next Season. Next.